Hello students, this is Mrs. Miller, and the purpose of this video is to provide direct instruction on hyperbole. Now, we use a lot of hyperbole in our speech, and hyperbole is a huge over-exaggeration. It's an exaggeration that can't possibly be true, but writers use hyperbole to get their point across. So here's an example. Josie's new friend is as skinny as a toothpick. Well, no person could possibly be as thin as a toothpick. I want to point out, not only is this hyperbole, but this is actually an example of a simile as well. The friend is being compared to a toothpick. So something can be more than one type of figurative language. This one also happens to be hyperbole because it's a huge over-exaggeration. Josie's new friend is as skinny as a fashion model. Well, that's a non-example because somebody really could be as skinny as a fashion model, okay? Hyperboles are often intended to be humorous or fun. If it could happen in real life, then it isn't actually a hyperbole. Sometimes you'll hear me say, I have a bajillion people in my family. Well, of course there aren't really a bajillion people in my family. My parents have 12 children. But I just say a bajillion. I use that huge exaggeration to get my point across that I come from a very large family. You're going to cut this out and put it in your interactive notebook. Don't forget you're going to leave the space across the top because we'll be putting some cards in there later that have examples of hyperbole. Here's how the finished product looks. You'll glue this into your notebook and then you'll glue in these song lyrics and write the meaning of the hyperbole. Let me do that with you. The song lyrics are by One Direction. It says one thing. Shot me out of the sky, you're my kryptonite. You keep making me weak, yeah, frozen and can't breathe. Something's got to give now, 'cause I'm dying just to make you see that I need you here with me now, 'cause you've got that one thing. So I know this is the one for hyperbole, but I can't help but point out, you're my kryptonite. That's a really good example of a metaphor. But yeah, you keep me frozen and can't breathe. That's a perfect example of hyperbole. It's a huge over-exaggeration. And what it really means is, I feel like I can't move when I'm around you. Okay, so you'll write that in your interactive notebook. Now, for the other one, I'm dying just to make you see that I need you here with me now. The meaning of that is, I really need you to understand. Now, there's nothing being compared here. Hyperbole is not comparison. Our similes and metaphors were comparison. Hyperbole is simply a huge over-exaggeration. So please make sure that you write this in your interactive notebook after you glue the song lyrics in.